Good day, everyone. This is Pilot News, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at latest DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my host from Ravenloft, Draculita.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hello there, Drac. Is everything peaceful and quiet over in Bavaria?
Not too bad. Couple little uprisings during the week. Some chills are moving into the air, so there's threats of a snow. So there must be a abominable snowman out there somewhere that I'm gonna have to put down because we don't need any snow. But what are you gonna do?
Those frost elementals could create such a problem.
Yeah, exactly. It's either a frost elemental or it's a windy mark. We're not sure which.
Okay, I guess we'll find out in due time.
We will.
Yes. Let's head into our game news where they have announced the Black Friday sales for this year. And anything nice and interesting there?
I mean, okay.
That sounds like a no.
It's a sale. It's on Black Friday, so it's a sale. So sure. Yeah, no, I wasn't that all impressed. Over in the DDO market, so this is for real world money. You're going to get discounts on pretty much everything. The Magic of Myth, the new expansion, or the latest expansion, I should say. I guess it's not new anymore, but that's going to be 10% off. That's across the board. So the Ultimate Fan, Collectors, and Standard, all at 10% off. So okay, I guess. So $116.99, $71.99, or $35.99. And then Vecna Unleashed, the Ultimate Fan Bundle, is 50% off. That's at $49.99. So if you don't have that, that's a pretty good deal, I would say, if you want the Ultimate addition to that, because it's 50% off. Vecna 40% off the collector's edition at $35.99. 30% off the standard Vecna at $13.99. Isle of Dread weirdly isn't on sale, which is
What?
kind of weird, actually, because everything else is on sale, but Isle of Dread isn't. I don't understand that, but okay. Also, 70% off Saltmarsh Ultimate Fan Bundle at $29.99, $23.99, 60% off for the Collector's Saltmarsh, and 50% off the Standard Saltmarsh at $9.99. And then we have Fables, $32.99, $27.99, or $19.99. So that's 75, 65, and 50% off. So decent there. Sharn, same thing, 75, 65, 50. 32, 27, 19. And then at 67% off, which is the one that I would recommend if you are like a free-to-play player and you don't have any of this stuff. The DDO expansion trove right now is $19.99. That's going to get you the Mist of Ravenloft expansion, the Shadowfell Conspiracy, and the Menace of the Underdark expansions. So that is...
One out of three good.
It will. I liked Shadowfell and Menace. I know you don't like either one of those, but Menace is better than Shadowfell. But yeah, so that's 67% off at $19.99. So that's a good deal. So if you, like I said, you're a free-to-play player, you're looking to get a good chunk of game expansions for one price, I would go with that. So once again, that's over in the DDO market. So that's going to cost you real world money. Then over in the DDO store, they're getting in on the Black Friday sales as well. Limited time offer is double bonus points plus. So you're going to get twice the bonus points in the DDO store, and you're also going to get an elixir of discovery with your purchase. These are going to run through December 2nd, so you have a few days. Then 75% off Tomes of Supreme Ability plus 8. That's actually a decent sale for those. 50% off all monster manuals, 35% off shared bank space. Once again, through December 2nd. And it's back. Everybody's been waiting for it. The McRib of DDO is back. That's right. It's Autobox time. Heroic epic and improved auto boxes through December 2nd in the store. So that is your Black Friday sales. We do have weekly sales going on. Now, the weekly sales are going to go through the 5th. You're going to get 30% off select guild items because it's Honor Your Guild. And then weekly coupon is going to be a free figgy pudding spirit cake. Your coupon code, it's not a fruit cake. ITSNOTAFRUITKKE. It's not a fruit cake. Once again, through December 5th. So there you go. Like I said, I mean, I'm not jumping up and down.
I know. It sounds like a fruitcake to me if you're not jumping up and down for it.
Exactly. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like in previous years, I think some of the sales were a little better, but I mean, there's some okay stuff, but it's just not like anything major. But I would say if you're a newer player, like, and you don't have some of the expansions, now would be the time to grab those. As far as like just the DDO store, the +8 Supreme ability tones, that's a decent deal. Shared bank space is always good if you don't have it, especially when you get it on sale, and 35% is a pretty decent deal for that. So, but yeah, I'm just not jumping up and down about the sales this year. But I mean, your miles may vary. Maybe there's some people out there that are super happy about it. So
you're just not one of them.
I'm just not one of them, but it's okay.
All right, then what does the dragon have for us this month?
That's right, the latest Year of the Dragon gift now available. So you just need to log into the game. You can do this through today as we record this on November 27th. It's going to last all the way through December 24th. You speak to Zathrall, the big dragon in the Eberron Hall of Heroes, and you're going to get the pick of the dragon's lair. Once you have spoken to said dragon, there is another little NPC right near here named Estrez. You talk to him, and you're going to get the item into your inventory. Then you click on it, and then you're going to get your pick of several items. Keep in mind with this one, this is one of those special ones, though. You're only going to get it one time, so you need to make sure to speak to Estrez on the server of your choice, because you can only claim this once. The pick of the dragon lair is bound to account, an item delivery item, and then the selection box will provide you the following on one game world. But once again, note, it's only for one game world. So you have to choose which world you want this on. Your choices are going to be 5,000 Sentient XP. It's going to be a gem that you get, and you can click that. You're going to get the Master's Gift Augment. That's really nice because then you free up some spaces. So okay.
I forgot. Yeah, because I keep on forgetting the difference on all these things. Which one is the Master's Gift?
The Master's Gift is what happens when you combine the Voice of the Master and the Mantle of the World Shaper and 5 greater tokens of the 12. You combine those, and then you get the Augment Gem that you can slot into an Augment slot.
Okay.
So that way you're not losing 2 item slots. You're only gonna just put it into
what color of an Augment?
Any.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then that's going to give you the +5 enhancement bonus to all earned experience. So it's basically like you've taken the Voice of the Master and the Mantle of the World Shaper and 5 greater tokens of the 12 and went to the altar and combined them into that to make that. You're just getting it for free.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten the bit about the 5 greater tokens.
That's because you don't like to run that content that those are in. So you probably have not. And then you can also choose the Epic Voice of the Master, which has a minimum level of 20. So if you're running higher level stuff and you don't have that yet, there you go. Can also get minimum level 10 Dragon Eyes, and that is goggles. If you did not know, those are going to be a breath weapon focus of +3, quality charisma of +1, blindness immunity, insightful reflex save of +3. Also has a blue augment slot, and then it's also going to give you a mythic goggle boost of +1 or +3.
Okay, that sounds decent.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent one, especially even just for the reflex alone is good, but especially if you're like a Dragonborn and you do fire or breath weapons, that's really good. Not just fire, just your breath weapons. Oh, go ahead.
Is there any other way for a player to get a breath weapon other than being a Dragonborn?
To my knowledge, no. I don't think. Somebody can correct me, though. Either send us an email or respond over on YouTube or on the site, but I do not think there is.
Okay.
I do believe that is the only way to get it. You have to be a Dragonborn. I don't think there's any other spells or any items or anything that give you that. But once again, somebody feel free to correct me. Also, you can get the Legendary Dragon Eyes, minimum level 28. To me, the same difference. Just going to be the Legendary version. And then you can get the Perfected Helm of the Red Dragon. This is a minimum level 30. And
yeah, I think I thought of another case where you might get a breath weapon.
oh, okay.
Wouldn't isn't one the winter wolf form of a druid? Does that have a cold breath weapon? Or am I thinking?
Don't know. Maybe. I mean, that sounds right, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. In other words, possibility of something with the druid.
Possible, yeah. The only time I ever ran a druid in Winter Wolf, I was always on my whip lock, so I was always shooting fireballs.
Oh, okay.
So I never used anything else because it was on my warlock. So
all right.
Yeah. So that sounds right, though. I mean, that sounds like that would. I'm sure somebody will correct us because somebody's yelling right now as they're listening to this. You dummies! This is the answer. So feel free. Podcast at DDOplayers.com. Please tell us. So what were we on? The Perfected Helm of the Red Dragon, ML of 30. It's going to be a fire shield, 3 charges a day, strength of plus 14, legendary magma surge guard, improved fire augmentation, fortification plus 157, which is amazing. Insightful combat mastery of plus 6, and insightful armor piercing of 11%. Yellow, green, and blue augment slots. So that is what that is. Once again, that is ML30. Then you're going to get 30 fire dragon flogstones. I never know how to pronounce that. I'm just going to go with flogstones. That's close enough for me. And also 30 shadow dragon ones. And then 20 combinations of heroism. And then the final thing you can pick from is the silver dragon scale helm. And that is a minimum level 29. And that is going to give you one of the following: insightful strength of plus 6, insightful dexterity of plus 6, insightful intelligence of plus 6, accuracy 21, deadly plus 11, brilliant silver scales, and then a yellow augment slot and a blue augment slot, which that is pretty nice too for those boosts. So there you go. That is your choice. But once again, keep in mind, this is one per world. So pick however many that you want.
Okay. And I did confirm that, yes, the wild shape, the winter wolf form, does have a cold breath weapon.
Okay, there you go. I knew that sounded correct after you said that, but like I said, anytime I am in a winter wolf form, I'm doing Eldritch Blast, so I never do anything else, so I wasn't for sure, but there you go. And then if there's any other way, let us know, but there you go.
Then let us head into what's... Oh, yeah, you want to talk about Memories of the Illusionary Larcener?
Yes, that quest, if you enjoy Memories of Illusionary Larcener, you better run it now because it's going away. Last week, I think it was last week. It's been a while since we recorded, but I'm pretty sure it was last week. They did do a Lamania preview of Update 71, and in those Lamania notes, that quest is going to be permanently retired from the game. And this is due to the let's try to speak.
Irreconcilable?
Sure, that is a weird frickin' word. Performance issues. So basically, it's kind of screwing up the game worlds. And then if you watched last Fridays at 4 with Cordovan, he did kind of talk more about this. It's kind of the way that's kind of an outlier quest because the way it's designed, it's not designed like any other quest. What happens in that quest is everything comes to you instead of you going to it. So that causes some problems. They did say they could rebuild it. That would be the only way to fix it, but that would be quite the undertaking because they would have to change the underlying foundation of how it works. There's just too many performance issues with the quest. But all the unique treasure from that quest is going to be relocated to a different quest in the near future. So once again, this is going to be when update 71 comes out. So it's going to be a little while yet. I would say a couple weeks at least, probably. Just keep in mind, if you like it, run it now, because you're not going to have the chance because it's just going to go away totally.
Apparently, we're getting a divorce from the... Because the only context I've ever heard that word used is in the context of divorces.
Which word?
Irreconcilable.
Oh, yes, this is true. That would be, yes, I think that's the only time I've ever heard that word too. You're right. So apparently we're divorcing illusionary larceners. So good riddance, sir. Good riddance.
Let's go and see what's coming in from the dungeon. Where Middle Earth is coming to DDO Beyond, the Lord of the Rings role-playing game, has finally made the D&D Beyond, though it has been in other digital formats, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I've tried it before.
Yes, it's on Fantasy Grounds, and I do believe it's on Roll20 as well. So yeah, it's just now making the jump to D&D Beyond. If you don't know what it is, it's an adaptation of the Wondering system, but it uses the familiar 5e rule set. So it's easier to play if you're familiar with 5e. There's just a few tweaks in it. But yes, you can get it over on D&D Beyond right now. And let me open that up. I should have had this open. It's $29.99. So if you want to play some Lord of the Rings role-playing with D&D Beyond, you can have all of the stuff that you need to create your characters, run your adventures, all that fun stuff. And then I'm assuming, since this is me speculating, they didn't say this, but I would assume, since this is already on D&D Beyond, once their virtual tabletop comes out, you'll probably be able to play it on their virtual tabletop as well, I would assume. It'd be dumb for them not to do that since it's already on D&D Beyond, but I mean, it is Hasbro we're talking about, so that's all I'm going to say. So there you go.
All right. Then let's head into the tabletop. Where we can dive into the depths of Riley in the new Arkham Horror, the card game expansion. Okay, we're going into the depths then.
Into the depths, yep. You're going to go into the Drowned City. It's a thrilling campaign setting for the card game, as you said. You and your fellow investigators are going to venture into the ancient underwater city as it rises from the depths. Each investigator is going to be assigned a unique task with specific goals and side objectives. You're going to progress through the campaign. You'll face challenging scenarios, and you're ultimately going to confront you-know-who, because who lives in that city? That's right, Cthulhu himself.
Oh, hold on.
Yes.
You said it's going to be challenging. I have yet to run to one of these that wasn't closer to impossible.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's a very hard game. So, yeah, this is going to make it even harder because Mr. Cthulhu is going to say, hey, how's it going? So it's going to give you a campaign throughout the Drowned City. Like I said, each investigator is going to have a unique task that they have to do, and then they're going to have some side objectives for themselves as well. You're going to get 6 new investigators as well. So once again, this is the Drowned City. Then there's also going to be the Drowned City expansion. And then if you want the new investigators, of course, you have to buy the investigator expansion as well, because why would you not have to do that? Well, that's how they kind of do in the card game, but it makes sense.
Yeah. Now, what I'm wondering about is, I would have thought by now they would have run out of new Are they making up new investigators that haven't been in the system before, or something like this? Because
Yes, there's 2 new investigators. Marion Tabbers and Lucius Galloway are the 2 newest investigators, so they're brand new ones.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah, it sounds like two that I've never heard of. Then.
Yeah. So it's basically 4 rehashed investigators and 2 new ones. They say there's 6. They're not really 6 new. There's only 2 new, technically. I mean, but, there's only so many investigators they can come up with. At some point, I would assume they're going to have to stop making investigators, right?
Well, yeah. Then they might have. Well, this is maybe one that you got a version of it that's leaning towards one type of character type and another one.
Oh, well, that could be.
They might have another type or something like this, because that's something that can be done, and I'm pretty sure they've done that already. You said that there were 4 rehashed ones in here.
Yes. Yeah, and they tend to do that a lot. They just kind of tweak them a little bit. They'll make some changes, or they'll change one certain aspect of them or whatever. But
right.
Yeah. So there you go. New Cthulhu coming to Arkham Horror, the card game. And I would assume usually what they do is after it's in the card game for a while, they usually bring it out for the Arkham Horror board game too, but it's been a while since they actually had anything released for that, so I'm not sure if that's quote-unquote dead or not. They just haven't released anything new for it. They're really concentrating on the card game right now.
I know, because the card, I've heard very, very little at all on Arkham Horror ever since they came out with the 3rd edition, which the 3rd edition had at best mixed reviews based on what I remember.
It was better than the 2nd edition, but it still has some problems.
Better than the 2nd edition?
It was, yes. I thought so.
I know a lot of people who were saying that they were talking about how much better the 2nd edition was, better than the 3rd.
Really? Well, see.
So anyway, I guess we could have the edition wars on that one.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah. So let's go and find out what's on the screen. Where it looks like you can invite Nosferatu with you to go to the movies?
Indeed, you too can eat your popcorn out of a Nosferatu sarcophagus. And who would not want to do that? I want this so bad.
Well, what do? You bring the sarcophagus with you to the movie house and they fill it with popcorn?
No, you buy it at the movie theater and then they fill it with popcorn.
Yeah, but the point is every time you go to the movies, you have to get a new coffee.
No, you could take it back with it if you wanted to.
Okay.
But usually you don't do that. Usually you just buy them and then you display them. There's like a whole sub collecting culture of these popcorn buckets for movies. It's crazy.
I have never heard of this.
Oh yeah. It's a whole thing. But anyway, these are from Regal Cinemas. It is, as we said, the Nosferatu popcorn sarcophagus. The Gothic vessel is going to be priced at $30.99 or $25.99 if you would like it empty. So if you want it full of popcorn, $30.99, empty $25.99. It's the perfect accessory for any horror movie nights. This Nosferatu sarcophagus is going to be available 1 week in advance, so starting on Wednesday, December the 18th, because the film does come out Christmas Day, December 25th. And my guess is if you want it, you're going to need to get it early, because stuff like this usually sells out. And if you're watching the YouTube version of this, I got pictures on the screen right now. If not, go over to DDO Players. You have to see this thing to see how amazing this is and why I want this so bad. But yeah, this is just the latest in a long line of bizarre popcorn containers. Kind of started with an R2D2 one, and then it went to Deadpool, and then there was the Dune bucket that everybody was talking about. There was Ghostbusters had one. Pretty much any movie that comes out has their special popcorn bucket. And what they do is each movie house I can't think of a better word for it. I want to say studio, but not studio. Chain. That's the word I'm looking for. Will have their own version of the popcorn bucket. So far, this is the only one that's been announced for Nosferatu. And a fun side note, I put this in the article because people are probably like, what's the difference between a coffin and a sarcophagus? Do you know that? I'm sure you know that because, Pine Leaf Logic and all that. Do you know what the difference is? There is a difference.
I would think. Well, coffins I usually think as being wooden. Sarcophagi I usually think as being in stone and
that's
decorated. Yeah.
Correct. That's exactly the difference. Coffins are usually. I mean, they don't always have to be simple, but they're usually like a simple burial box. Usually wood, sometimes metal, but more often wood. And then your sarcophaguses are usually a stone coffin, and they're elaborately decorated. They got carvings, inscriptions.
And you run into a lot of them in DDO.
You do. So there you go. There's the difference between the two. But yeah, like I said, this is amazing. And this course is, you might be wondering, like, what the heck movie is this for? I don't know what you're talking about. There's a reimagining of the classic Nosferatu coming out on Christmas Day. And if you don't know what Nosferatu is, it was the first Dracula movie ever made back in 1922. There was a little small, teeny tiny little problem. They actually didn't get permission to make a Dracula movie, so they just changed everybody's names and kind of altered the plot just a little bit, but it wasn't enough. And the estate of Bram Stoker, his wife, sued them, and they were ordered to destroy all copies of the movie. So we almost lost this classic movie, but one copy actually survived, and that's why everybody knows what the original Nosferatu is and have seen it. And I have like 5 different versions of it on Blu-ray and DVD.
Now, when they say a reimagined one, are they trying to reimagine the original one being, because wasn't Nosferatu a silent movie?
It was silent, yes.
Yeah.
This one is not a silent movie, but yes.
Oh, okay.
The original was silent, yes.
Okay.
This is, it's kind of hard to explain. They're sticking to the plot of the original Nosferatu. I mean, they're changing things a little bit, but of course, they're adding on to it as well because making movies has changed since 1922 in silent films.
A little bit,
yeah. So they're calling this a modern reimagining of Nosferatu. Once again, it comes out Christmas Day. I am super excited. I actually already have my tickets. So
and they don't have to worry about Brad Stoker's worsened.
No, that's right. They apparently got this cleared, so they're cool. It's not going to be destroyed.
Yeah. It's very.
So there you go. So yes, I unfortunately don't have a Regal Cinema close to me, but my friend actually lives in a city that has a Regal Cinema, so I'm hoping he'll be able to get this sarcophagus for me because, like I said, I only have AMC theaters around here, so. I want it.
Of the movie wars.
I want it. I need it for my vampire collection.
Well, we just have to hope that maybe AMC has their own, but it might not be as nice as this one.
I'm sure it's not going to be as cool as this because this is freaking amazing. Like I said, do yourself a favor. If you're not watching the YouTube, if you're listening to the audio version of this, go over to this article on DDO Players and just look at the pictures of this thing. And I defy anybody to tell me this thing is not freaking amazing. Now I know there's going to be one person that's going to come up with some stupid reason this is not cool. I know it's going to happen just because I said that. I'm ready for you. Let's go. That's right.
The challenge has been thrown.
I am throwing the gauntlet down, indeed.
Yeah, we'll see if anyone picks it up.
Debate me. Let's go right now.
All right. Let's go to our weekend gaming. To see how you've been preparing for whoever picks up the gauntlet. What have you been doing this week?
Ravenloft, and a lot of it.
Ravenloft. Oh, what a shock!
Yeah, exactly. Over on Cormier, Beaker and I have been running Into the Mist, Death House, Fresh Baked Dreams, and an Invitation to Dinner. I think we ran it 4 times in a row. Basically trying to get the gear out of it. In Death House, I'm trying to get the ring, the key lock ring, because I'm running a dark hunter, so rogue hunter. I need that key lock ring. Yeah, it's not dropping. We even running it on elite because, well, I mean, we run everything on elite, but you get supposedly better drop rates on elite. Yeah, no.
Well, are you at least getting some good?
No, the answer is no.
From Mistwalkers, I mean, the.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're getting the Mistwalkers and we're getting experience and whatever on the lanterns for that, so that's fine. We're just not getting any of the gear that we're farming for, but RNG, alas.
I think that's why I don't bother farming for gears, because I'm not sure I can take going on and on until I actually get it.
You have to though, like that's I don't know, but yeah. So
I never get into that mentality. So.
Well, I mean, I guess not. There's certain gear that I will do that for. Like, I'm not saying I'll do that for like every piece of gear in the game, but I can think off the top of my head, there's about 4 items that I will farm for, and I will keep running a quest until I ransack it, and then I'll wait until that ransack goes up, and then I'll run it until I get the item. I think of about 4 that I'll do. So
I think one of them is a certain quiver.
Yes, it is. Which that level is coming up soon on Cormier for us. So get ready, Beaker. We're gonna be running that quest over and over too. See how long that takes to drop stupid RNG. Then elsewhere, I ran some Cormier with you. I'll let you talk about that though. And then the only other thing I did is just installed it, stepped in, but not done anything much with it. I noticed that Stalker 2, The Heart of Chernobyl, which is a first-person / horror shooter that is set, of course, in Chernobyl. So it's all sorts of weird monsters and stuff like that going on. This is actually on Game Pass that I saw. I didn't realize it was on Game Pass until just the other night I saw that it was on Game Pass. So I installed that. Actually installed it on my Xbox One and the PC. Haven't really played. I loaded it up on the PC. That's as far as I got. I didn't really do anything yet. So I need to jump back into that. But I've been waiting for this game forever, and I actually didn't even realize it was out until I was just on the computer the other night, and I clicked on to Xbox and Game Pass to see what games were new, and it's like, holy crap, Stalker 2 was on here. Download. So that was basically what I did. How about you? What were you up to?
All right, I will begin with what we did together. That was on Cormier, where we were playing in Saltmarsh. We did the first 3. See, I remember doing 3 quests. That's right. We did the haunted house, so the haunting of Saltmarsh, then the one where you're on the ship and trying to blow up the ship as you try to find out who is trying to smuggle stuff and why. And then finally we did back to basics as we went around there killing just about everything in the dungeon and whatever. So after that, on my character is also running on Saltmarsh, my solo character in Saltmarsh, where I was taking my artificer through there, and I was on the latter parts of Saltmarsh, running through Danger and Dunwater and a couple of the other dungeons that are in the area.
You just can't get enough of Saltmarsh, can you?
Apparently not. Well, because it's relatively low level on our character, so I mean that's where you tend to be.
No, that's true. I mean, it makes sense. Checks out.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I think I just have 2 dungeons left to do, so I'll get those done, and then I'll finally be able to head over into I don't know if I'm ready for the Feywild yet, or if I'm going to try to head out and take care of the Sharn conspiracy, because that's also a good possibility, since
yep.
I'm on an artificer, so I won't have any trouble with those doors, as I have trouble with on some of my other characters, where you have all those doors in the one where you have all the bookbinder rescue, where
the whole Sharn Syndicate quest line.
Yeah, because if you make too much noise, then they start killing the people inside them and all that stuff. So it's a lot easier if you could pick those locks.
Oh yeah.
And then on tabletop, I just received my copy of Ian's in Descent. I was playing, so I was playing that. So I got through the basic campaign there, and I also finished up my year-long quest to play every single solitaire game in Moorhead's Classic, the complete guide to solitaire and patience games. So it's a classic solitaire book that was published 75 years ago.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
so this was in celebration of its 75th anniversary, and so the quest then was to play all of there were a couple of games in there that are two-player versions of otherwise solitaire games in there. So I skipped those. So I skipped all the two-player games, but I played all the solitaire games in there, which is 165 games, if I remember correctly.
Holy crap. Well, good for you, sir.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And of course, it's finding on what way to play all of them, because some of them I was playing on various solitaire collection platforms I've got, and some of the ones that didn't have good versions on any of those, of course, then I played them with regular playing cards. So lots of solitaire games this year. And that concludes my week in gaming. So do we have any comments? I don't see any, so I guess we don't have any this week.
We do not have any this week.
Well, if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. And I believe that while the Players Alliance has two shows, I sometimes wonder whether or not this new podcast is considered to be part of the Players Alliance, even though it's a different type of player.
Maybe, I don't know. We haven't really thought about it. And to be honest, like the whole name was kind of an accident. And then afterwards I thought, I'm like, oh, hey, this kind of ties in. Yeah, of course, we're talking about the vinyl podcast that I've been talking about forever. We have finally started that, and when I say we, it is Mock Duck and I, which some of you might be going, who the heck is Mock Duck? He is also known as Cordova. His other online persona is Mock Duck. So yeah, it's a long story with the name, but yeah. So him and I started this up, and it's called the Record Players Podcast. So kind of funny that the players tied in. So yeah, well. It's probably going to be a part of the Players Alliance. I don't know. I haven't really talked to him about it, but I mean, I don't see why it couldn't be. But right now, we have a Facebook page, a YouTube page, and a TikTok. That's where you can find all of the content. All the stuff is released on those three social platforms. So if you want to find us, I put links over in the show notes for that. We have quite a bit of episodes up. We have a lot of videos up. We do what we do is him and I record for like 2 or 3 hours, and then we chop them down into smaller segments of episodes, and then we also then, after all those are released, we do release like a full-length one. So if you want to see it all together, where you're not just watching one video and then you got to click on another video, you can watch the whole thing, and those usually tend to be about 2 hours or 3 hours long. It depends. So we're given several different ways. It's basically about vinyl, music, CDs, cassettes, anything music related, vinyl related. We're talking about it. So I'm enjoying it. We're getting good feedback on it. Everybody seems to like it so far. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, please go check that out. Would appreciate that. Once again, I put links over in the show notes for the Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. We're working on a web page too, so we'll have a web page for it as well soon. I just have to find some time to actually set that up.
Now, do you concentrate on certain genres of music, or do you have a very, very wide variety?
A very wide variety. We talked about 3 or 4 different genres so far. We have in the future shows coming up, we're going to talk about like 2 or 3 other genres. So yeah, where it's just an all-encompassing. The show is about music and physical format music, mainly vinyl. We tend to skew more vinyl, but we are talking about cassettes and CDs as well. But we do, because we're both big vinyl people, so we're kind of skewing it more towards vinyl. But yeah, so check it out if you're into just music in general. You don't really have to be into vinyl. Our CDs or cassettes. Just if you just want to hear two former radio DJs talking about music, it's the show for you.
I could just imagine someone saying, talking about all the classic 8-track tapes.
We're actually going to talk about 8-tracks at
We're going to talk about 8-tracks.
one point. We are, yeah. Actually, that is a topic that we have for an upcoming show at some point. So yeah.
Okay.
So like I said, once again, it's music related. So if you're into music at all, we do like our top 5 of a certain genre. We've done our top 5 albums overall. We have so many topics laid out. We have a document that we're going off that him and I just kind of were throwing ideas out. And then if anybody that listens has any ideas, we're always open for that too. So give us a listen, a watch, a like, all that. Once again, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, the Record Players Podcast.
Very well. And if you would like to hear us on any of the Players Alliance live shows, on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we record Locha Players News and we record DDO Players News when Drac is available. You guys join us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Pine Leaf Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.